Hello, welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn the phrasal verb soak in, and all the different ways that we use soak. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the verb soak. Soak is a verb. It means to put something in water for a long time. Pronunciation, soak. Use the long O like know and go. Soak. Example, before I cook beans, I soak them in water. I soak them for about an hour before I cook them. I soak them for about an hour before I cook them. I soak the beans in water before I cook them. What about you? Do you soak the beans in water before you cook them? Very good. Let's hear some examples with soak.
It also helps to soak it in milk before you cook it, like we did all afternoon, right, Johnny?
Don't forget to soak it in milk.
Milk?
So we heard the example, soak it in milk. Whatever it is, you put it in milk and let it sit there. You soak it in milk. But we also have a phrasal verb, soak in. And it's a separable phrasal verb, so I can put it in the middle and say soak it in. But it has a completely different meaning. Example, she always wanted to go to Paris. It was her dream, and she finally went there. And when she arrived, she said, give me a moment to soak it in. She wants a moment to soak in everything. Using it as a pronoun for everything, soak it in. She wants a moment to soak it in. To experience the moment, to enjoy the moment, to absorb everything, we use the phrasal verb soak in. With the pronoun it, soak it in. We hear the T in it pronounced as a fast D. Soak it in, it in, it in. She wants a moment to soak it in. Let's hear some examples of the phrasal verb soak in.
Thank you for letting me soak it in.
Or you could soak in the small town, maybe go fishing.
Absorb it. Just soak it in. Think tree.
I want you to soak it in.
Gives me a chance to soak it all in.
All right, just hang out here. Soak in the vibes.
Let's practice. She just got to Paris, and it's always been her dream to go to Paris. So now, does she want a moment to soak it in? That's right, she wants a moment to soak it in. Now let's talk about soak as a noun. Soak can also be used as a noun with the verb have or take. Example, you can take a long soak in the tub. You can have a long soak in the tub. It means you just sit there for a long time in the bathtub. Let's hear some examples.
How'd you like a little soak in the bathtub?
I want to have a long soak in a hot mineral tub.
She's taking a long, hot soak in the tub, and she's not receiving any gentleman callers.
Jane, why don't I get ready and soak in the tub for a couple of days?
Honey, why don't you go and soak in the tub?
So, example, he's having a long soak in the tub. Or I can say take, he's taking. He's taking a long soak in the tub. Let's practice. What is he doing? Is he having a long soak in the tub? That's right, he's having a long soak in the tub. Or I can use take. Is he taking a long soak in the tub? That's right, he's taking a long soak in the tub. Talking about tub, this is a tub also. But this is a smaller tub. We call this a wash tub. And what is she doing? She's soaking. But she's not soaking beans, she's soaking her feet. She's soaking her feet in the tub. Pronunciation. When I say she's soaking her feet, she's soaking her feet. We don't hear the H in her, we hear soaking her, soaking her. She's soaking her feet in the tub. Let's practice. What is she doing? Is she soaking her feet in the tub? That's right, she's soaking her feet in the tub. Now let's talk about wet. If somebody is really wet, I can say they are soaked. Using ed, pronounced with a T sound. Soaked. He is completely soaked. Or I can say he's soaking wet. I cannot say he's soaking because he's not in water. He's not soaking in the tub. He's soaking wet. So we have to use wet together with soaking to describe this. So you can say he's soaked or he's soaking wet. And we can use two verbs. I can say to be, I am, you are, he is soaking wet. Or I can use get soaked, or get soaking wet. I don't want to get soaked. He didn't want to get soaked either. but he is. He's soaked. He's soaking wet. Get is the process. Before an adjective, we use get to express the process. I don't want to get soaked. I want to stay dry. Let's hear some examples.
I got absolutely soaked, remember?
Andy, your feet are gonna get soaked.
He is soaked from the rain.
He'd come home dirty or soaking wet and never say what he'd been doing.
Come on, we're gonna get soaked.
You're soaked. Where have you been?
You're wet. Soaking wet and you're gonna leave in the middle of the night. Would you just wait?
My phone got soaked in the lagoon. Fine.
Or soaked in a tub that I didn't have to scrub.
Seriously, I'm right there in the middle of the palace with soaking wet shoes.
Sylvie's coat and shoes were soaking wet from our bare escape from the shore.
They got soaked.
We're gonna get soaked.
You're gonna get soaking wet, Raymond.
You'll get soaked!
Hey, you are absolutely right. I got soaking wet and Marshall didn't do anything.
Let's practice. Did he want to get soaked? That's right. He didn't want to get soaked. But is he soaked? That's right. He's definitely soaked. Let's practice with soaking wet. Did he want to get soaking wet? That's right. He didn't want to get soaking wet. But is he? Is he soaking wet? That's right. He's soaking wet. So remember all the different ways we use soak. You can soak your feet. You can soak beans, using soak as a verb. We also have a phrasal verb, soak up. If you want to absorb completely, we say soak up. Example, you need a sponge to soak up all the water. If there's a lot of water on the floor, you need a sponge to soak up all the water. I can't say I need a sponge to soak the water. No, soak means to sit in water. I need to absorb this water, so I say soak up. You need a sponge to soak up all the water. Let's practice. Do you need a sponge to soak up all the water? That's right, you need a sponge to soak up all the water. So remember all the different uses of soak. You can use soak as a verb, like you soak the beans or you soak your feet. You can use soak as a noun. You have a long soak in the tub, or you take a long soak in the tub. And you have the phrasal verb soak in, to absorb the moment, to take everything in, to experience and enjoy the moment, you soak in. With the pronoun it, soak it in. And we have the two descriptions, soaked or soaking wet. They both mean the same thing. But remember, you cannot say he's soaking. No, he's soaking wet. You have to say wet. And the phrasal verb soak up, to absorb. Soak up all the water with a sponge. Today we're learning this phrasal verb, turn down, and it means to lower something. You can turn down the stove, turn down the radio, turn down the TV, or turn down the volume. It means to make it lower. And it's a separable phrasal verb. If I use a pronoun, example, it, I have to put it in the middle. Turn it down. Turn it down. The T in it is a stop T. Turn it down. Link it to the next word. Turn it down. Let's hear some examples.
Well, turn it down, not off. Honey, can you turn it down a little?
Mind if I turn it down a bit?
Example, the music is too loud. So what does he need to do? He needs to turn it down. It's too loud. Let's practice. Is the music too loud? That's right, the music is too loud. What does he need to do? Does he need to turn it down? That's right, he needs to turn it down. And if I change the verb turn to the past, turned. Link the words, turned it down. In the past, he turned it down. He turned down the volume. Use the pronoun it. Turned it. He turned it down. Let's practice. Did he turn it down? That's right, he turned it down. And the phrasal verb turn down can also be used to talk about rejecting an offer. If you reject an offer, you can turn it down, using it as the pronoun for the offer. So turn it down when talking about music, turn down the volume, turn it down, or rejecting an offer, turn it down. Different meanings. So if you reject an offer, you say no to an offer, you turn it down. And remember, turn it down in the past, turned it down. Let's hear some examples.
You turn it down, you turn it down.
How could I turn it down?
Example, he was offered a promotion with a raise, but he said no. He turned it down. Let's practice. They offered him a raise and a promotion. Did he accept it or did he turn it down? That's right, he turned it down. Why? I have no idea. And in this situation, he asked her to marry him, but she said no. In this case, she turned him down. Not it, not the offer, but the person. In a romantic situation, for example, if you ask someone out on a date and they say no, they turned you down. We use the person. They turned you down. Or they turned me down. She turned him down. She said no to his marriage proposal. So I can say, she turned him down.
The parole board turned him down.
Don't worry, I turned him down.
It would have been so majorly stupid of me to turn him down.
Turn him down publicly.
Oh, no, he did. I turned him down.
And how did he react when you turned him down?
Let's practice. Did he ask her to marry him? That's right, he asked her to marry him. And what did she say? Did she turn him down? That's right, she turned him down. You can say she turned him down flat. That means completely with no doubt. She turned him down flat. So remember, turn it down. You can be talking about a radio or a TV, the oven, the stove, or you can be talking about rejecting an offer. He didn't accept the offer, he rejected it, he turned it down. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.